I am about to drive this car at this circuit in real life. I'm going to be in a Mazda MX-5 race for real, and I want to know whether I can actually win this race in real life by practicing in Assetto Corsa and using my secret weapon here, which is a Race Logic V-Box Sim. And by the way, I am going to this race courtesy of Race Logic, amazing company. You see them all over the dash in ACC and iRacing, but they're actually taking me out to Spain here, Gran Canaria to be precise, and I'm going to be racing MX-5s against real racing people. Absolutely insane. They've believed in me. Is their faith going to be well placed? So what I've got is I've got the Moza R9 with the Moza FSR Formula rim. I might want to go to a circular rim. We can obviously hot swap that. And I've got the Fanatec V3 pedals. We are now logging on Assetto Corsa via the Race Logic software, so I can have a look at my telemetry. So let's go out and let's do a very sort of basic lap here so we can see what's going on. This is my first time going out on this circuit, by the way. I've never gone out of this circuit in any game. I had to download the circuit here. So we're going to come out. Not a good start. Not a good start. Drawing blood. Wow, okay. Let's keep our hands on the wheel. How about that? Just wanted to look at the look back options. Okay, here we go. Sim racing can be dangerous too, by the way. So we're going to come up here. I can see that the racing line is red. So there's a hairpin here, obviously. Wow, this force feedback is really intense. Let the car breathe as we come down here into what is presumably a flat in the Mazda. And then, oh, flat here as well. That's going to be brave. And then we come into another hairpin. Okay, so pretty of a twisty approach. Yes, that is the C, by the way, on the left-hand side. Pretty incredible circuit, it seems. So this is a tricky corner, it seems. Okay. Go out to the outside. Oh, look how tight this is. My word. Okay. We'll have to see what we do in the gearing. And again, another tight hairpin. Okay. So I'm getting a feel for this track now. Crest. Oh my word, feels like I'm about to go down the corkscrew. Look at sake, I didn't know the track was this big. Oh, there was a little diddly track, but look at this. Then presumably another. Oh, you don't want to go in the sea. We don't want to go in the sea. I can swim, but my word. Okay. Look at that big wall on the right hand side here to prevent me going in the sea. Oh no, 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 I've crashed. I've crashed. Okay. It's going to be quite a lot for me to remember here. Oh no, no, no. Didn't want to let go of the wheel there. I'd say this hasn't gone too well in the sim to start. Don't want to blow the engine either. It's a really long track. I assume this would be a little tiny track, but it's not. It's just like a runway. We're now on a massive runway. There's the sea. There's no barrier. There's no barrier to go in the sea. Okay, what happens if you go in the sea? Back to the pits. Okay, right, now let's use the race logic to help us here. So you can see here on the race logic I've got various settings. That was on the speed setting. I've also got a max speed that might be helpful in certain circumstances. I've got a speed bar as well. I've got lap timing, which is obviously super helpful, but I also have the predictive lap timing, which I really like. Lateral G, longitudinal G, the lap count, and then back to the menu. So what I like is the predictive lap timing. We have to go around the start and then it will do it. I also want to see here if I can get any sort of stuff up on screen in terms of lap times, because we've gone for a massively sort of like is it at the bottom there? Maybe it's at the bottom, I just couldn't see it. Okay, so we're going to go to, I think this view is the most realistic, so I think I'm going to be in a right hand drive car. Get used to looking in the mirror there as we come out. So we got this tight uphill braking zone, which is going to be really tricky if we want to open up the corner. Not sure we want to be in first gear. Find out. It matters a bit more when you're going around a track that you know you're going to drive in real life. I'm just remembering it more, like I know this is flat. Down to second gear. Got to get better at doing the corners. I'm sure we're going to spin. But unlike Las Vegas where I drove the GT3 Ferrari, there's C to contend with here. And much closer barriers. So this is going to be quite a tricky one. I can visualise the hairpin a little bit because I can see the corner. Looks like maybe it's a downhill entry. And get on the power. And we got another one. Try and stretch the legs of the MX-5. Wonder if that isn't really... Wow, that is going to be very sketchy. That is going to be very sketchy. Remember, we are logging all the telemetry, so I'll be able to look at the telemetry and see when I should be braking and accelerating. But that only really works if you get enough laps under your belt. I'm not sure that is. Oh, okay. Ah, it's a difficult corner. It's a difficult corner, that one. Oh no. Thing is, when you're racing in real life, your brain is much more likely to say, brake, brake. Whereas in a game, because this is a game, you're more inclined to be like, oh, to see how far I can push it. Right, so I'm guessing that's the start-finish straight on the left there. And I'm gonna see if the race logic will pick up the start-finish line and we'll do some predictive timing. It's a bit like Top Gear circuit, this bit. Coming in now. Oh, that's a fun corner. Right, let's find our start-finish line. I'm going to guess it's here. Yep. Okay, it's creating a reference lap now. Remember, this is the tricky... You've got to try and stay to the right here. Oh dear. Meant to stay to the right there to open it up. Okay, and then we're going flat through these S's into a hairpin at the end. It's breaking a straight line. That's what I learned in the GT3. I don't think there's going to be enough power here, even though we are a rear wheel drive car, sorry. I don't think there's going to be enough power to really spin me around on exit, but that was my experience in even the Supra as well, another rear wheel drive car that I've driven, is that just, you've got to be so careful when you're applying the power and you've got meaningful lock on, because tyres, they will skid along the tarmac. Down second. Power out over this curve, I guess. Or maybe not, because it ends directly on the grass. Now this is where it gets a bit weird, isn't it? I think it might be just a little lift through here, and then... Oh wow, that is going to be very sketchy. Feels a bit like Donington. Probably want to brake really close to that curb. Keep it narrow, maybe. This is tricky, this one. You don't want to brake, but it's coming here into this tight corner right here. Oh, and it's tight, so I need to work that one so we can accelerate on the exit. Ah, this one's catching me out. Maybe the tyres are a bit warmer though there. We had more purchase for sure. Cut that one onto the long straight. It's going to be a long lap. If this is the circuit, it's going to be over a 3-minute lap, I think. Which is absolutely insane. Open this one. Don't want to apex too early, I guess. Okay, awesome. So that's going to be about a 3-minute lap. So that's our reference lap created on the race logic. Obviously, we should try and go a lot quicker through turn 1. Now we'll get the benefit of the LEDs. Should go massively green now on the exit. Even though I was in the wrong gear. Oh, dearie me. Well, we're 2.5 seconds up, but then I really messed up the the exit again. I think too high a gear and... But anyway, flat through here. Okay, the race logic lights that. It approves. I think we should try and aim for a 2-minute 50. I'm just throwing it out there as a target. Not sure that line really worked at all. Power out. Might be able to rev the car a little bit higher. This is really tricky, isn't it? Yeah, because it's so blind, but there is a lot of speed you can carry through. Let's keep it tight here. On the power. So we're 4.5 seconds up pretty much. Now this long, awkward corner. I think we want to open it up like this and then come back in and then get on the power, maybe like something like that. I don't know. Track is starting to get more familiar, which is a good thing. Obviously there'll be no green line. I mean, my line there is clearly very wrong. But we're 5 seconds up. So let's aim for that 2-minute 50. And then we can look at the telemetry, which should be very illuminating. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be about almost 6 seconds up. Lap time this time, a 2:53. So let's 2:53.9. So let's try and take 4 seconds off that. Come on. Second gear. Yeah, that likes that. We're over a second up already. And there's still, obviously, more time to be found there. Damn it, turning a bit too early. I think I'm being a bit too narrow with my lines. Does that slow in fast out? I don't know. We are 2.8 seconds up. Maybe cut the corner a little bit. Okay, now this tricky one. Just got to visualize it because it's so blind. Oh no, 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 no. I'm all at sea there. I don't know whether I should be, you can see I've got gravel in the car still. I don't know whether I should be accelerating out of these in first gear. Still don't know the best way out of there. It's all about the exit here because you're going such a fast straight. So I need to sacrifice speed earlier in the corner. Right, we're going to go around again because of that off, unfortunately. I reckon you can carry so much speed through here. I tell you, I will not be doing that in real life, hopefully. That is well over the edge. So it'll be interesting on the telemetry, we can compare the runs we do through turn 1. I'm not sure. We're actually slower than previous lap. That felt kind of smooth. And the race logic does approve. We're getting on to par with our fastest lap. Oh, that must be a nicer exit. Well, yeah, we're up now. Just want to minimise that audible tyre squeal, which I think is me leaning on the tyres too much. Now, this is where we went off last time. Okay, so brake earlier, power through. And get on the power without that tyre squeal. We're 2.5 seconds up. We could potentially get our target here. Difficult there. Yeah, we're losing a little bit. Still all to play for. I need a massive rethink through there. We're 2.6 seconds. That's not going to quite get us to where we needed to be, but we were messy through here last lap, weren't we? Oh, the understeer is so real. Ah, oh, killed by the understeer. I'm going to give it one more lap, because then we're gonna ingest all this in the telemetry. Here we go. Come on. That was a 250.7. Can we go sub 250? On the power there with way too much lock. I mean, if there's any TC, it will just kill us, but I can visualise better the way to do that corner. I think I am getting a bit better at the hairpins. How good is Assetto Corsa, by the way? This sort of stuff. Incredible. Down to second gear. No tyre squirrel on power. And we're 3/10 up. So we've got 7/10. We need to be 7/10 up to do what we want to do. Bit deep there, but I saved in the gear change. Oh no! We're 2/10 over where we need to be. Right, let's focus on that slow in, fast out here. Keep the car sort of neutral. Oh, okay, but that is sort of it. Bit deeper than I normally go there. Here's a bit of a wider exit. Right, we're neck and neck. Absolutely neck and neck. I think we can be more aggressive through here. If we know what we want to do. Which is this. And then bring it back in. Ah, a little bit too much lock there, but we are faster. This one I'm still yet to work out the puzzle, I've got to be honest with you. Maybe like here now we accelerate through, maybe. Should be a nicer run onto the straight. Yes, it is. Oh, look at the delta. Absolutely loves it. We're half a second up, 6/10 up. 7/10 up. So if we can nail these last two corners, we will go sub 2 minutes 50. Come on. Always going 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10. We should be under. Yes, 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 yes. That is a 2 minute 49. Okay, so we've done, I don't know how many laps we've done there, about maybe 5 laps, which is great. It's going to give us the information we need. So what we're going to do now is we're going to export the data from the VBox, Racelogic VBox sim here, into Circuit Tools software, and now we're going to have a look at the telemetry and hopefully work out some interesting stuff. Let's do it. So we're coming in here, and this is really interesting because we're braking at roughly a similar time. So we're coming off the throttle at a similar time, braking at a similar time, albeit I brake sharper in the faster lap, which is interesting. And you can see anytime here that the red line is sort of going down, we're building that delta. So we're going faster. Here's the gear shifts at slightly different points. And you can see here we're just a bit narrower on the steering here, which indicates a better line. We're not having to really go on maximum lock, and ultimately we get on the power at this point. And you can see here I wasn't really getting on the power until here. I was worried about, in fact I was just a lot more cautious on the first lap, the lower lap. You can see I could have been on the power at this point here, but I wasn't on the power, so can try and get on the power there as soon as possible. Coming into this one now, the hairpin, when we can sort of visualize things, a bit wavy on the brake here, which is not ideal. Neither of these laps are ideal, actually. And then we're quite harsh on the brake. We need to be doing more brake off, being a lot more certain with our inputs, basically. And then here I was able to get on the power sooner, which is why we were faster out of this corner. Right, we're back in AC now. Interestingly, though, it just picked up the wheel immediately, which is pretty cool. You know, I put it on later. We're going to see if we can try and go fast in these 2-minute 50s now. Learning what we saw in the telemetry, we are logging again in the V-Box. It may automatically pick up the lap again. We'll see. So remember here, we're not afraid to brake earlier to really get that exit. So something like that is going to be very helpful. And we want to be more firm with the inputs. None of this waviness on it. We want to be really firm when we're braking, really firm on the throttle, and not kind of reapplying inputs. Here we go. Don't be afraid to coast if we need to. So I'm going to try and brake, you know, late, firm, coast, power. Just trying to get into it. On the power, remember we were late on the power here in the telemetry. Brake firmly. Bit wide there, so need to work on that. Off the power. On the power like this. And again, let's try and get a consistent line into here where we're very particular about it. That's not good, really. That was still kind of half-assed. On the power out like this. I think it was the last lap, lap 6 last time, where we worked this out, this one. Yeah, not like that, but... Right, onto the straight. So now hopefully it's going to pick up the lap on the V-Box and we can really... put some of this into practice. Brake around the 50. Counter steering. Let's keep an eye on the lap timer, see if it'll pick it up. Yes, it has. Firmly braking. Yep, having one consistent braking input there is going to be a more solid base for us. Few feathers on the throttle, but 4/10 up. Again, half a second up, which is good. Not sure about our gear choice there. Let's not be afraid to be firm on the way in here to kind of allow us to pick our line. That felt relatively smooth. In fact, yeah, really likes the exit. Okay, we've got to be brave and again focused here on what we want to do with our line. Maybe something like that. I think we need to work backwards here from the exit. Which you want to be on the outside here. And then sort of follow it through. That was better than the last lap, but it's still not the best I've done it. So we're about 8/10 up it's showing. And I'm hoping that the data is going to look a lot better. So going to brake around the 50, sort of tease it in here. Wow, that is a lot faster through there. Keep an eye on the lap time this could be. Yeah, 2:48. Wow. Okay. Let's build on that. That is massive. Too much lock on the exit, but I'm trying to approach it as one single braking phase. We're neck and neck on the time. Oh, that's nicer on the exit for sure. Yeah. Feeling like I'm actually approaching this in a bit more of a solid foundation now. Bit too much lock on the exit. Yeah, losing some time. Yeah, better sort of going like that, I think, and then you have a much better exit. It's just smooth on the exit. Okay, here's a tricky one. I'm able to feel it a lot nicer now. Shame we're a bit deep on exit there. Again, a bit too much lock on exit. We are up though. Let's see if we can just get our way to the outside of the track here at the beginning. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, let's finish the lap. Let's finish the lap. That's such a shame. But so far we've taken, I mean, we started doing 258s, we're now done a 248. That's 10 whole seconds off. Oh no. Little bit of silliness there. Right, let's pull it over. Let's pull it over, and I think what I need to do probably is get this, blow the engine like that, get this into the pits. So bear with me. We're going to compare lap 6, which was our fastest lap in the first session, against lap 2 here, and see where we were better. So you can have a look at the, probably going to lose those camera angles in a bit. But you can see here for the first corner, which is here, we were much more progressive on the brake, which I felt like I was doing was linking. Let me take this off. Which was linking this into one big corner. You can see, and it looks like we had a better exit actually in the slower lap, which was the blue lap, which is interesting. but this is where the delta starts to grow against the blue lap here, which is a second corner, which is the right angled hairpin. So you're much more firm on the brake. And I think really it's that firmness, because we were later and firmer, which is the ideal thing. That meant that we were on the throttle for longer, which is awesome when we got on the throttle earlier. So we just gained time out of that one. Then we've got the next hairpin, which is this left-hander here. And you can see again, we reached full brake. And we were, I think, on the throttle a bit later, braking a little bit later. Albeit we got on the throttle earlier. I think I did mess up the exit of that, if I remember. You can see. Now we've got this left-hander here, if I remember. Very, very, very different. Look at the stronger braking, which allowed us to get on the power earlier. Yes, we lost time at this phase, you can see, but we gained a lot more on the exit. So getting on the power earlier there, braking. We had basically two buttons, cherry, on the throttle till later, and then we got on throttle earlier because we were strong on the brake. It's pretty interesting. This section here, again, stronger on the brake, meant that we could get on the power earlier and in like a stronger block here. And then for this corner as well, we were on the throttle later. On throttle till later, I should say. Interestingly, how similar these ones are. Very similar traces there. But then again, we had that stronger brake input. So we need to work on that. If we can keep that brake input maybe just working solidly, then we can get off the brake sooner and get on the power earlier. If you look at it in a pure data sense, again, you can see here I was trying to get on the power earlier because we had some sort of issue here where I needed to get off the power. That's probably because I was just firm on the brake for longer. You can see. And this corner as well. Similar thing going on. So I need to try and work out how to get the replay footage here, because that really is, to be honest, a secret sauce where your mind can just easily see. There's obviously some issue about it not quite finishing the recording or something, but I'll have a look. But hopefully this has been helpful. And yes, I'm going to be driving this track in real life, so even that, as basically I think I've done about an hour session perhaps, has been absolutely phenomenal. And I'll make sure to do a few more of these before I go to the track, and hopefully my mind will just be able to connect the dots. But I won't be afraid. For example, in those squiggly bits, I'll know that they're flat. I won't have to take a few laps to work that out, which is pretty key. But if you do want to see more of these videos, then please let me know in the comments. It's been awesome. Big thanks to Race Logic for obviously sending me the V-Box Sim, I think a couple of years ago now, and also inviting me out to race MX-5s at this circuit. I can't wait. I'll see you then. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue practicing.